Today, the wait finally ends. We got a new trailer for Avengers Endgame. Yes, we also got the announcement of the new title, and everything about it makes me so excited, but gotta remember, keep expectations low, Drew. When you set up your expectations, that's how you get ready for disappointment. So this is one of the reasons I liked Infinity War, was because I thought it was gonna be bad, and it turned out to be really great. Now I'm really trying to not get too excited, but I can't help it. So without further ado, here are my favorite parts, and here's the breakdown of the Avengers Endgame trailer. The trailer starts out with my favorite character in the entire MCU, Tony Stark, who does not have his nanobot suit all equipped across his body. Now, all that he seems to have is just the mask that he is now making kind of a final call for Pepper Potts back home. We see kind of a very defeated Tony, and he quite literally is very defeated, as we could have expected. Most of the characters are very sad. It's a very somber tone. It's a very depressing state in the MCU right now, and it looks like he tried his best to get on a spacecraft and start making his way home, but it doesn't sound like he's going to make it, which I appreciate. I thought that it was very plausible that Marvel could have glossed over the method that Tony Stark used to get back to Earth. They might be like, oh, his Iron Man suit, he can just whip up an infinite oxygen supply and then just fly home real quick. No, it looks like they're going in depth into the fact that this is a journey, and as Tony Stark says himself in the trailer, part of the journey is the end. As in, he's kind of admitting that he's about to die, he doesn't have food or water, and we're seeing a Tony Stark very similar to the one we saw in Iron Man 3, who doesn't really have his suit around him to protect him, and he has to kind of use his wits. So that's the whole beginning of this trailer. He's with Nebula, I believe, because him and Nebula were some of the only survivors off of Titan after Infinity War ended. Almost everyone else was wiped out on Titan, and now it looks like these two characters, who really don't know each other very well, are making their way back to Earth. Then on Earth, we see that Steve Rogers decided to give himself a little bit of a trim. Makes sense. That's naturally what you do when half the universe gets wiped out. But yeah, everyone's very sad, crying and thinking back to all of the good times they had with their friends. We get some slight imagery of Thanos with his armor off, looking like he's done fighting. He's accomplished that goal that he wanted to acquire, and now he's just kind of living out the rest of his days like growing pineapples at a farm or something. I don't know, just he's not a warrior anymore. He's not fighting, he's not punching, he's accomplished that goal, and now he's just living life to the fullest, looking at the sunset, proud of what he's done. While everyone at Earth seems to be sad yet desperate to find any type of way to redo these changes or to get Thanos back, and a lot of them just look frankly defeated. We finally get a look at Hawkeye, who was absent in the last Avengers film, which I think this makes sense both from a plot standpoint and from a structural standpoint for this movie's integrity. If you want to have a good number of characters in a film, Infinity War got a little crazy, but they did a very good job balancing two separate plot lines. That way there was never too much of an overwhelming presence from one character, or not too many characters that got glossed over. Everyone got pretty equal screen time, so they didn't have time for Hawkeye. They wrote him out a little bit, and now that half the cast is gone and they have a few more characters that are a bit more manageable than, 67, now they can just have some of the OG Avengers and a couple extras, and that includes Hawkeye because he's part of that OG Avengers crew as well. Obviously looks very upset. I imagine that maybe his family was wiped out by the snap, and now he's decided that, you know what, I turned away from the Avengers, but now it doesn't matter anymore. All that matters is avenging my family's death. I could easily see it going that way. And surprisingly, in this trailer, we did not see any Captain Marvel. We got that new trailer earlier this week, but looks like Captain Marvel did not make appearance in today's teaser trailer, which somewhat worries me because I don't want this film to end up being a Captain Marvel Ex Machina where she just kind of shows up at the last minute, stops Thanos immediately, and saves the day. So I'm hoping that we see Captain Marvel in the next trailer, and hopefully we can find her weaknesses and things she's not great at, because based on the trailers we've seen of Captain Marvel, seems pretty unbeatable / indestructible. And I think one of the greatest things about Marvel characters is that they are flawed. They have issues. They are human, and we can relate to them. With Captain Marvel, I'm having a little bit of a harder time doing that, but again, we'll see when that movie comes out. And also in this trailer, we don't see any real endgame. We don't see an attack plan. We don't see much of what the Avengers' plan is to get back at Thanos, how they're gonna find him, what they do to kind of reverse the things that happened during Infinity War, other than the fact that they thought Ant-Man was dead, and of course, you saw Ant-Man and the Wasp. He is not dead. Somehow he was able to escape the quantum realm, probably using Pym particles. Marvel will have to find some way of explaining how he got out of the quantum realm, but perhaps using that quantum realm, they're going to be able to transfer back in time. We're in earlier versions of the Avengers about what was going to happen, but honestly, based on, behind the scenes set photos of them going back in time, perhaps to the first Avengers film, even if they did, what are they going to tell the Avengers? By the way, there's an almighty god that can defeat all of you, and he's going to wipe out half the universe. Be ready! What exactly are they going to be ready for? Couldn't they just say, oh yeah, when you guys go off and fight Thanos, don't bring Star-Lord with you, because he's going to screw everything up. And then, of course, the original Avengers are going to be like, who's Star-Lord? I don't know who this is. But yeah, regardless, if they start doing time travel stuff, that suspension of disbelief a lot of us have with Marvel films is going to be stretched even further. It's going to be quite a bit of suspension here if we start doing alternate timelines, because in my opinion, alternate timelines and messing up, well, what if that didn't happen? What if this wasn't real? That's probably the quickest way to lose an audience, and that's how you start getting people confused and going, wait, what? I thought that this happened. Why did they erase this? Well, it turns out all of that never actually happened. If they start going that route, you may start losing some people. But regardless, I'm interested in how they're going to reverse everything that happened in the last film and hopefully do it in a way that is satisfying and unique and not terribly cliche and hopefully somewhat satisfying. Regardless, though, I still stand my viewpoint that I would like Iron Man to wield the Infinity Gauntlet and just brutally destroy Thanos. And based on this trailer, Tony Stark got a lot of screen time. Maybe since this could potentially be his last film, they'll end up doing something like that. I don't know. What do you guys think is going to happen based on what we saw in today's trailer? And let me know if you thought it was a good trailer. Did it get you hyped? Or is it kind of underwhelming, not really doing it for you anymore? I was definitely kind of upset that we didn't get that classic Avengers theme that I'm used to getting. With the Infinity War trailer last year, I thought we had an incredibly epic soundtrack to go with the trailer that included that Avengers theme song. In this one, we didn't get it. It was epic, but we didn't have that signature Avengers theme, so... Okay, all that good stuff though. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have an excellent day. Take care. Ooh.